Okay, y'all. So picking right up where we left off. Okay. Um, we're gonna start off watching the beginning of this chapter to get this chapter together. I'm gonna peel off in the middle, and then that way we can still see the end and everything that we gotta see at the end together. Unlike the last chapter, I did not pre-review this chapter in the attempt to reload to upload a video previously. So this is gonna be more of a raw go through slash review together. Okay. That last one was a little bit more explained because it was already read and I was just summarizing it. This one we're going to be going through it and summarizing together. You feel me? So strap up, kick back, relax, flame up, and review with me. And you already know how it go. If you do not have a blunt to smoke on your own, feel free to hit mine whenever I put it to the screen. These chapters been having me on my toes lately. You feel me? So I ain't been putting it to the screen as much as I should. You feel me? I've been a stingy smoker. But it's okay, it's cool. Cause y'all just gotta get with me. We feel me? Y'all just gotta give me more views, give me more likes, so that way I can go live and do stuff like this because y'all gonna be waiting for me. And when y'all waiting for me and I'm hitting the blunt and I'm just hogging it, y'all could jump in the chat and be like, bitch ass nigga pass the blunt. And I'm gonna pass the blunt. Yeah, yeah, that again. Alright, cool. Pretty hit pass. Alright, so we start off with the Holy Inari child, with the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage. They're changing the name up now to Ogre Child Yamato Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage Volume 34. That was not the fucking name at first, okay? But we ain't gonna get into that. Emma Shrine and Hakume Yasui's sword is enshrined and the pilgrimage is complete. So I guess Yamato completed her mission of whatever shit the fuck she was trying to do. And she got two crewmates on the way. Ulti and Page One are her first two members of her crew. Cause like I said, during this journey of her, she been making friends and shit along the way, which is similar to how Luffy started on his journey when he met Nami and Zoro. So for those are the first two members of his crew. Ulti already pledged her allegiance to Yamato. All right, so going back to where we left off, we see the giants. You feel me? They screaming the children. Oh, thank goodness they're safe because the children are no longer being walked to the plane. Somebody said something about she's floating. Poor kids must have been so scared. Come, let's go. Who's floating? Oh, I think that's Gunko they talking about floating. So then we see all of the adults just like pass out. No, somebody gets stabbed. It says stab, stab. Oh, so the thorns are still on them. So they running to go get the kids because they thirsty. The kid's not walking the plank no more. But as he gets close, the thorns are still on him. They stab him and he fall. So they fear the kids looking like, huh, what's going on? They don't know they still got the thorns on them. And Emu, who is inhabiting Gunko's body, looks over and sees this and says, silence. And while she screams silence, you see a like you literally see how small Emu is on this image, bro. Like just so small, like just a little dot. That's all it is, a little dot. And you see the Conqueror's hockey lightning blasting off from that central dot, just to represent how big of a hockey wave this is that Emu was letting off. And what that does is it knocks out cold every kid and adult giant in the area. No, not as impressive as the Joy Boy hockey that we say get released from Emmett, but still very impressive. So then moving on, we see all the Giants down. Dorian Bragi, they still hanging on, but they get brought to their knees. And they telling everybody else like snap out of it. Now it's a few Giants that's still on their feet. And they trying to get everybody else up and out of it. Ja Rule's looking up, everybody looking up, and we see Emu, who is there just in Gunko's body, and seems like it's a transformation is made. Devil wings are now out of the Gunko's back. She has a devil tail with a devil's sight. Okay, everything about Emu is just giving full demonic at this point, okay? I'm starting to think Emu very well is that devil that we've seen on that mural, okay? That was on the left side of the mural holding the sun. So, Emu says all resistance must be squashed. Is this the best sleep tids can do, Hillingham? So I guess the sleep tids, that's what they call Hillingham's dream monsters. Bunko Emu then lifts up the scythe and we see this giant circle with the summoning star pops up in the middle with these two like holes that look like a cannon hole and points it at the giants. Hillingham says not so great. The nightmare holes remain open. They continue to spawn monsters from every nightmare found on this island. These are creatures from dreams with no concept of death. They can be revived at any time on my command. Oh, so he said, not so great one. He refers to Emu as great one. So Killingham respawns all the sleep tids all the dream tids we thought was beaten. Okay, so moving on, we cut over to Emu who says lead the line of Whelp Summers. And we look over, we got Usopp, Nami, Brooke, Robin, and Jinbei who are still tied up. They look over and they see Summers whose body is back together and he's getting up. He responds to Emu by saying right. He says right away as you command. And then everybody is shocked, like what, he's still alive? Jinbei says, is that the same woman up there in the air? She seems different from before. Robin says, where is Luffy's group now? Nami responds, well, Luffy and Zoro and Sanji aren't here. Harujan's bunches, Brooke says Harujan's bunch as well. It's just our luck that they all be down in the underworld far below. Robin still struggling, trying to get out the vines. Jinbei says, "What are you doing, Robin?" Robin says, "I have to help. I can't just sit here captured." Thank you. Do something. Y'all just sitting there chilling. Y'all ain't even trying, bro. Y'all just gave up. Robin says, "I have to help. I can't just sit here captured and do nothing." Robin is a real one. Hit the blunt for Robin, bro. Y'all ass pathetic at this point, bro. Sitting here begging for Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro. Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro wouldn't just sit there tied up. Emu then says the question now is with whom we will parlay using these whelps as baits. Summer says absolutely right, oh great one. It makes no sense. A kingdom without a king. Stupid Kaban, my body's in agony. So he put himself back together, but he's in pain. So we got Dory, Bragi, and all the other giants. We gonna cut it off at this point. We got Dory, Bragi, and all the other giants running towards. I only do this, y'all, because I don't know how copyright work and all that shit. For I don't want motherfuckers flagging me for putting the whole channel or the whole chapter on my shit. So Dory, Bragi, and they little crew running towards Emu, Gunko, and Emunko. That's what we gonna call them, Emunko, and Emunko responds, Dory, the blue orc, Bragi, the red orc. I charge thee with domain over this land. Thou will be king. So Emunko just declared Dory and Bragi king, the new kings of Elbaf. And Bragi screams, I don't know if that's Dory or Bragi, but one of them screams, "Are you at the Holy Knights?" Grabs Emunko and says, "You're the one who's driven Elbaf to madness." Okay, so that is Dory that grabbed him. One of the giants says, "Go ahead, Dory, join him and the boys." "Sure thing, Captain. Take care of yourself, Bragi." Oh no, so Bragi's the one that grabbed him, okay? Now give back the children how many of give back the children how many of you are there. Okay, so Bragi grabs Emunko and is yelling at her like, "Are you part of the Holy Knights? You the one who driven this, you feel me, Elbaf into madness." So while Bragi has Emunko in his hand, he then signals the rest of his giant crew to go help fight the Tibbs, the Dream Tibbs. And he tells Dory to go with them, and Dory tells Bragi, "Watch yourself." Okay. So Bragi is now back to Emunko, and he's telling her like, "Now give back the children. How many of there are you?" Trying to interrogate. He think he got the one up right now. Emunko then lifts up a hand, got a hand free, lifts up the hand, and summons a book out of the air. Emunko says, "Understand this, Bragi. Thou wilt meet with Beardhead Jarul. Cut off his head and hold it aloft." So Emu just told Dory, if you don't know it, but told Bragi what that means, that she's summoned in the book. Like, understand this, Bragi. You are going to go to Jarul and cut off his head and bring it to me. As Emunko says this, the book in her hand does something, and then Emunko says, "Then announce to thy people that we are the kings of Elbaf." And then some black substance comes out of the book, and then Bragi said, and it forms a knife and a shotgun, a double barrel shotgun. All right. Bragi screams, "Never! This is our country." You can't tell us what to do. And right as he screams that, Imunko catches the knife, stabs him in the hand, and as he screams in agony and releases, he then gets she then grabs the shotgun and says, "But it will not be for nothing." Double barrel shotgun, blast the man right in his wrist. She shot this man wrist. She shot this nigga wrist right off. Imunko then says, "I give thee the power of evil." So all the other giants are screaming, "No, no, the captain's arm." Dory holding his arm while his hand on the floor. He's screaming. No, Bragi, I mean. And they like, "What happened, Captain?" Somebody says, "I don't believe it. She took off his mighty arm. She'll pay dearly for this." Then Emunko summons another summoning circles and says, "In exchange for some measures of the lifespan, thou wilt receive an undying body and uncanny strength, undying felty to move. Thou art unbound by common sense and logic. Demons are the only proper form for life to take." So let's break that down. Let's let's start there. In my J Main voice. Let's break this shit down. Hit blunt. Okay. So Emu says that in exchange for some time on your lifespan, so cutting his lifespan short, she's gonna give him an undying body and uncanny strength. Under under complete loyalty to Mu, under complete servitude to Mu, you are no longer you will no longer have any common sense and logic. You will be a demon, and demons are the only proper form for life to take, is what Emu theoretically said. So now Emu throws the summoning circle that she made in front of her like that at Bragi, and now a giant circle is underneath Bragi. And she says, "Diabolical covenant." My favorite word, diabolical. And then one of the giants says, "Did she say demons? What she's doing to him?" All right, so let's cut. We're gonna see it again. We're gonna watch it together. So as you guys can see, like Braga sinking into that fiery pit that just formed from that circle that was under him. And then she says, "Domi Reversi." As she says, "Domi Reversi," the circle then flips. So he's halfway down. His torso is up, but his lower body is underneath the ground. And then when Emu says Domi Reversi, the circle flips and now Bragi's upper body is under and his lower body is out now, but his lower body is encased in darkness. And then from this, the lower body then becomes to pull itself out, and now the upper body is now encased in darkness also. And Dory has become this giant fucking demon giant with horns and wings and a giant axe now. Yeah, and everybody's screaming. He turned into a demon. He's definitely a demon. And then they're like, "What happened to you, Captain?" And they shot. And he pops them bitch ass motherfuckers out the way like a motherfucker. All three of them that he thought wasn't gonna attack, that they thought he wasn't gonna attack them. He a demon now. He don't care. He says, I feel all powerful. Nothing can stop me now. And then somebody screams, no, she's got Captain Dory too. And we cut over and we see Dory is a demon now also. And then Dory says, come along, boys, it's time to kill Ja Rule. And then, they crew like, no, Captain Dory, stop. You have to wake up. If you actually do that, our country is doomed. Help us stop them. What about the kids? What about saving the kids? And then Dory and Bragi then looks, and as they look up, the same Domi Reversi happens to the three remaining crew members of Dory and Bragi that was just telling them like snap out of it. And they got transformed too. Somebody says, was it because they were standing between the two of them? It can't be. Just keep your distance. Okay, so they trying to figure out what made those guys switch. What made them like transform like that? Was it just standing in between Dory and Bragi? Maybe. So they saying don't get close, bottom line. So now Emu has an army of giant demons. Like these guys are like the size of ancient giants at this point. That's how big they get. Ancient giant demons in the dream tubes. So so the giants are running off saying not bad. No, so that's Emu saying not bad. So this is the power of Elbaf. It will not be destroyed, but preserved and ruled over. Perhaps it is time to stay and watch to see how successful they will be in war. And then we go back to the other giants. That's with Chief Ja Rule. They're saying, "Please, Chief Ja Rule, you must flee. Something's wrong with Captain Dory and Bragi. Run for your life." And then Ja Rule says, "Never tell a warrior to run from a battle." And to be continued. We don't see anything that says chapter next week. So this weekend we should be getting an all new chapter. Man, things are really heating up here in Elbaf, bro. Like we've really reached the climax to the series at this point, and the only way it can go from here is just fall in action. Fall in action. Just action right off the bone. Action, 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 action. Because everything got to come to a conclusion during this fall in action. Story arcs got to be wrapped up. Character development got to be completed. All of this is going to be done from here on down. Mm, yeah, this was a good chapter, bro. Good two chapters actually. One Piece been cooking, animation been cooking and everything. Honestly, I would give this chapter a 10 out of 10. We got some good little action. That I know for a fact when they animated it's gonna be worthwhile to see. We got a reveal of Emu, a reveal of more of Emu's ability and powers, bro. So that's something big. We're actually getting more dialogue than ever from this being. So we're getting the type of personality and a type yeah, Emus definitely comes from a lineage of royalty for sure. You can tell by the way she speaks. But shit, we gonna tune out for now. I gotta get this uploaded because I got some other stuff I gotta do. I can't sit here and talk too long for right now. But man, next week when that chapter come out, I'm gonna try to get some notes and everything together, and I'm gonna try to put together like my own little theory of what I think is don't happen, what's going on, and what Emu's plan and everybody's goal is. And I also want to, I get a lot of speculation about Blackbeard and Blackbeard being tied to Emu. Like I really think Blackbeard's gonna kill Emu. I'm sorry, but we're gonna talk more about that next week after we see what goes on with the follow up of this chapter. All right. So on out, guys. See you guys next week. Next time, have a blunt road. You feel me? Because I might want to hit y'all shit this time.